Good afternoon, and as you've gathered, Terry Venables' split with Barcelona features very high on our agenda today. We've also got some great midweek action from the Littlewoods and Skull Cup matches, as well as a little bit of Irish football history, James.
We haven't got Irish football again on, have we?
Just a little.
Oh, no.
But the big news today, Jim,
Yes.
is that the Bruno-Bugner fight is now back on.
That's right.
And take place at White Hart Lane, October 24th. Now, I believe during the night there's been a lot of negotiations going on with Barry Hearns and Bugner.
Yeah.
Bugner's agreed to take the 200 grand that was up.
Is it? Well, it's going to be a good fight, you know. It really will be. And I do fancy Joe Bugner, because once Frank Bruno throws the left and Joe catches it in his mouth, like that, Frank will have to fight with one hand, won't he? Be a good fight.
I'm looking forward to that. And also, by the way, well done our Ryder Cup team, Jim. Terrific.
Well, the lads, I mean, that's marvellous. That is a great showing so far, Ian.
Delighted 4 Scots in the lineup, of
and
course.
2 wonderful Englishmen, Severiano Ballesteros and Jose Maria Athabal from Wapping. Great, good lads, well done.
OK. Also, the big news during the week, of course, talking about Spaniards as you were there, James, it was Terry Venables' departure from Barcelona, which I think caught everybody a little bit by surprise. Would you not say so?
Well, yes and no. I think it was intimated for a while that he was on the rocks there a little bit, and as he says, you know, he made their mind up for them, really, Ian, didn't he, by saying, look, lads, you can't make up your mind, I'll make it up for you. And here he is, obviously. This is before the knives were in the hands, patting him on the back there. This is when they had a winning side, wasn't it? This is when they actually won the
that was a penalty kick that got them to the final
of the European Cup. That's right. And, I mean, well, he was king, wasn't he, out there? That was it. For 5 seconds, then they realised how heavy he was.
Then they lost it on penalty, Jim, against our Bucharest.
That's
now,
right.
What do you think that was a turning point?
I
Because
think
they
it
were
probably
expecting to win
was.
that. Yeah.
I think it probably was. They probably all expected to win that European Cup and didn't. And he's never quite recovered from that, has he? Them or Barcelona, you know.
Well, I had a little chat with him on the old Dog and Bone yesterday.
Did you?
And I mean, he's chirping, laughing and joking. I mean, he's actually come out of it very well, too.
Well, he's come out of it very well. He's conducted himself masterfully, which is really good at public relations anyway, as Terry. And, like, he's coming out of it with $250,000, like, in his back skyrocket, isn't he? Saying, if you and I could get that upstairs, we'd be on our bike as well, wouldn't we?
I don't think we'll get that when we get the bag, that's
No
for sure.
bloody chance.
Well, as I said, Terry Venables no longer with Barcelona, but the English influence is still strong in Spain, and it's from there Martin Tyler joins us now.
Well, this is where Terry Venables would have been tonight had not his reign in Spain ended so abruptly. It's the San Mamés Stadium, the home of Athletic Bilbao. And in contrast to Barcelona, they're very happy here with their English coach. Athletic Bilbao are unbeaten under Howard Kendall.
Bilbao was a welcoming base when England came here for the 1982 World Cup finals. But Kendall's progress will be closely monitored at a time when British coaches are dropping in Spain like dead bodies in an Agatha Christie plot. His rapport with his new players is clear, even though the message at the moment comes mostly by example. Life for Howard Kendall revolves around the Athletic training ground, where Ron Greenwood's England tuned up for that World Cup campaign 5 years ago. He even lives here, simple but satisfactory accommodation while away from his family. But a reminder of the job insecurity is this message from Colin Addison, now sacked by Celta. So too is the news of Venables.
Well, from the outside, I mean, you look at it, and 4 games into a season, I mean, it looks as if there's been public pressure and press. The press have been hounding him day in, day out. And they've had a disappointing start, but there's a long, long way to go. And I think that what Terry really needed was someone to stand up for him and to back him after the disappointing start and to make sure that things would be put right. I think if you look at it, at the end of the season, they decided Terry Venables was the best person for Barcelona for this season. And after 4 games, they've decided he isn't, which I think is a little bit harsh.
But how does that put pressure on another English coach out here like you? There were 6 coaches at the start of the season. There are only 3 now.
That's right, yeah. I think it's different. I just arrived here, and I've got a rebuilding job to do, and I think people accept that.
Last weekend, Bilbao in the black shorts were saved by goalkeeper Biarun in this goalless game against John Mortimer's Betis. But 2 draws and 2 wins is a fine start for a side close to relegation last season, especially when club policy allows Howard Kendall no foreign stars. He can only sign Basque players.
It's been likened to Yorkshire cricket, which I think is, when you look back on it, it's very, very similar. But they have 7 teams here, and they pick the best. They bring them through. They work them very, very hard, and it's a natural progression through the clubs to the first team.
Now tonight, you play Barcelona and come face to face with Gary Lineker.
Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned. I mean, Gary's gone a little spell at the start of the season without scoring goals, and he doesn't go for very long without scoring. I was delighted to read that he'd actually scored for England and Germany. So I'm looking at that. That's broken up a little bit. But first-class striker. I know him very well, of course. But and we'll have to be on our toes tonight because he is a bit special.
I suppose it does put the pressure on Howard a little bit, because once you've sacked, or the Spaniards have sacked, one big-named manager, then it's easy for the rest to follow, isn't it, Ian?
That's right. It could be a little casting now. And John Toshak, Real Sociedad, are down at the bottom of the table. They're off to a bad start, so maybe Big Tosh could go as well.
It's true, but I think it's fair to say that all of Spain is not like Barcelona, which is a bit of a hysterical hotbed.
Sure. They all get carried away a little bit. Well, back to Britain now, and shocks galore in the midweek Littlewoods Cup matches, and none bigger than at Reading.
Again, Stuart Bevan taking it, right-footed this time. Again, it'll be an in-swinger. And again, Hicks will be the #1 target for him. Floated there towards him, and the fists of Nijvetsky gets it away. Turned in once more. Jilks, possibly with a shot! Yes! And Reading have scored a surprise first goal. Just get the feeling that this could be their night, and anything's worth a try. It's big Martin Hicks, the skipper. Going to try and blast away past that Chelsea wall. Oh, and he's done it! 2-0! What an astonishing start to this cup tie. And certainly with 5 players strung across the back there, supported on that occasion by Bevan, there's so little room. It's sort of premium there for Chelsea when they do come forward. Just onside. Jilks is onside. A chance maybe for #3. And it's there. 3-0 to Reading. There goes Dixon. Oh, Hicks' back pass. There seemed to be a slight hesitancy there. And he's given a penalty. Gordon Dury is the man who will have to take it. Chelsea inch their way back into this cup tie.
Yeah, and that back pass, Jim, allowing them to do that.
Yeah.
Now, Brian Moore, who was a commentator there, was telling me after the game that Michael Jilks, who scored a goal, and we saw him race away from the halfway line, he said he's the fastest thing he's ever seen.
Well, Brian Moore should know. I mean, no one moves quicker away from the table when the waiter comes with the bill, does he? So, I mean, Brian, he should recognise these players, but he certainly took that goal well, didn't he? And
remember a few weeks ago we had the Queen's Park Rangers thing about Wayne Faraday. Now it may well be that this could be the boy who beats him.
We'll set it up. We'll set it up.
Okay, right. So well done, Reading, and that should be some second leg. Well, Cup favourites Liverpool made the short trip to Blackburn, and following some impressive performances, suddenly got it tough.
It looked another smooth ride for Liverpool when Steve Nicol, who else at the moment, put them ahead with his 7th goal of the season. But Blackburn rallied superbly. From Ian Miller's cross, Scott Sellers guided his header beyond the reach of Bruce Grobbelaar to earn Blackburn a draw. A mere hiccup, no doubt, for Liverpool, but one that may persuade them to step up their interest in Oxford's Ray Houghton, a man who might just provide Kenny Dalglish with the last piece in the jigsaw in his search for the perfect blend. Perhaps rival manager Colin Harvey of Everton would like him too. He was watching on Wednesday as Oxford took on 3rd Division Mansfield at the Manor Ground in the Littlewoods Cup. A busy Houghton was clearly eager to impress. The Republic of Ireland international is a thoughtful, creative player with an excellent touch and a definite eye for an opening. Even if at times his colleagues don't always respond to his more subtle promptings. It wasn't a night that Houghton and his Oxford teammates will remember too fondly. A well-organised Mansfield side not only contained them, but Kevin Kent's goal early in the second half gave them a surprise lead. Saves like this by Kevin Hitchcock from Martin Foyle frustrated a disappointing Oxford. Right up until 2 minutes from time, when Trevor Hebbard set up substitute Dean Saunders to head in the equaliser. It was at Fulham that Ray Houghton, once freed by West Ham, but rated now at around £800,000, first caught the eye.
He's out after this, but there's not much room out there. Trick Hurd into giving him a yard, which he's done. He's got a good cross in there towards Gordon Davis. Well, there's applause for Gordon Davis, but the Fulham players went almost as one man to Ray Houghton.
At Oxford, Houghton has developed into an outstanding midfield player. Certainly a key figure in their Built Cup success at Wembley, scoring in their 3-0 win over Queen's Park Rangers. Oxford are now resigned to losing Houghton, and there's no doubt where he'd like to go.
Well, at the start of the season, I made it clear that I would like to go to a top club. That's the whole point of me wanting to leave Oxford in the first place. And obviously, at the moment, the best team, personally to me, is Liverpool. And the way they've been playing the start of the season has been absolutely brilliant to watch.
You've played against them, of course, already this season. Are you not daunted by it, the way they're playing, and the prospect of perhaps waiting to get into their side?
Well, if they're going to pay a lot of money for me, hopefully I'll get a chance straight away. And the way they're playing at the moment, I think, would suit me, and I'd enjoy playing in the team the way they're playing at the moment.
I think he is one of the top midfield players in the country at the present moment. He has become, certainly in the last, probably 6 or 9 months, he has grown as a player. He is now picking out the right balls to play. He wants the ball all the time, which shows how confident he is. He's very creative. He's a crowd pleaser. I like watching him. I shall miss him when he goes, but he's bound to go.
Free from West Ham. It looks like another one for your mob then, Shane.
Well, I don't know how they're going to fit him in. They'll need a bigger bench there, Jim, all the good players that are sitting on it. It's amazing, isn't it? And as you know, Liverpool have a day off today. It's their turn to have an off day. They need the rest. but the big match is between Manchester United and Spurs. Now, Manchester United lost their undefeated record last week at Everton, Jim. And I mean, people are talking about United as a championship team. Well, over in Manchester they are. But when you go to places like Everton, never ever easy, because Everton will be up there challenging.
Well, we know that,
and the result, you've got to get a result in places like Everton.
Yeah, you have, really, because you've got to stop them getting the result, haven't you?
Right. And Wayne Clark with 2 goals, a bit of a shambles, really, as far as United are concerned.
Well, I've always thought the defence suspect, as you know, Ian, and they got a late one back, didn't they, through
Norman Whiteside there. Well, Tottenham, who they meet today, actually had a very bad midweek, Jim. Last week we were saying about Cyril Knowles' talkie, you know, how that...
Very bad's an understatement, isn't it? And they had 1 or 2 good chances, good efforts made, and was blocked out of it, obviously. And then it came along, didn't it?
Well,
there it is.
Derek Dawkins, yes, super. Great result.
Yeah, it is indeed. And can Cyril Knowles pull off the big one, I ask myself. And if he can, there's no answer to that anyway, is there?
Yeah, as we say, nice one, Cyril. And good luck in that second leg. And really, the bigger clubs did not have the best of weeks, because here's Elton Wellesby with 2 more upsets.
Well, Saint-year-old club Portsmouth got a tousing at Swindon, where the name Quinn first appeared on the score sheet after 90 seconds. Jimmy, that is, the Northern Ireland international. Well, whereas Alan Knight in the Pompey goal might have got his fingertips to the first, no chance whatsoever with number 2. So Quinn's second hat-trick of this season's competition was on the cards with 2 goals in 10 minutes. He had to wait until 8 minutes from time for his third, after Foley was brought down by Shotton. Quinn with the penalty, 3-0. But with 3 minutes left, the game's other Quinn, Portsmouth's Mick, directed a lovely header into the bottom corner to make it 3-1. Well, certainly the two-legged system is not as dramatic or consequential as sudden death. Newcastle's 1-0 defeat at Blackpool, caused by Paul Gascoigne's irresponsible back pass and Tony Cunningham's neat finish, shouldn't be enough to cause Newcastle continued embarrassment in the second leg.
Another pass back, James.
Mind you, it's the first time that Newcastle have found a player all season, albeit the opposition.
I'll tell you, in that first game, the Pompey game, I know it's Chris Kamara playing against Pompey for Swan. He was one of my kids when I was there.
Was
he would enjoy that one, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Right, well, it's been a busy week up in Scotland too with the Skull Cup semi-finals. And Rangers gave notice that they'll not give up that trophy easily.
Kirk looking for space in the box as Russell takes the free kick. Kirk is a target. That's a good header. And a superb goal for Motherwell. It's Paul Smith. Butcher is the formidable figure at the near post. Duncan at full stretch, he's missed it. The header goes in. It was Robert Fleck who got to the ball. Souness opened it up again, finding Cooper on the left. Well, that's good play from Cooper, going all the way himself. Playing against Patterson, that's towards McCoist. Fleck is there, and the ball's in the net. It's a disaster again for the Motherwell defence. Falco gets it forward, here's Jimmy Phillips. Durant leaves it, there's Fleck. The great save, and Falco's there.
Yeah, Mark Falco clinching a final spot for Rangers, and they'll meet Aberdeen, who beat Dundee 2-0 in that other semi-final. The final on October the 25th. But Graham Souness, Jim, might not play in that, because, as you know, Souness got a 5-match ban the other day for being sent off and talking to referees.
Well, I think the problem lies there with the board of directors of Rangers, and they've got a decision to make, Ian. They've got a great manager and a bad player. They've got a player who keeps bringing them into disrepute, and a great manager who's guided them to victory. Yes. So I think they've got to get together and say, Graham, we'll have you as manager, not as a player.
Okay. Well, finally, we've been giving the Irish a bit of stick recently. So today we make amends by showing a little bit of Irish football history. Here's Jackie Fullerton.
Well, Saint, I know you've got a soft spot for Larne, and you'd have been proud of them as they beat Coleraine to win the Ulster Cup, Larne's first trophy since they became a senior club in 1972. In an entertaining final, Coleraine scored first. Des Edgar with the free kick for Coleraine. It's 1-0. It's Ricky Wade. A minute later, Larne hit back. Sloan for Larne, trying to hit back immediately. Hardy, it's in! And what a reply from Larne! Then in the 33rd minute, Larne went in front. McLaughlin finds Hardy. Nice play from the big striker, McMullen. Good cross, and an own goal! That is Nigel Quigley, the 18-year-old fullback. So 2-1 to Larne, and how they enjoyed their moment of glory. It was also a great moment for their manager, Paul Malone, Irish League Football's Manager of the Year. Which prompts the question, Greavsie, has Paul Malone been to the Saints coaching school over here?
Well, the even bigger question is, has the fullback been to Saints coaching school? Brilliant header. Bad luck, son, never mind.
It's all in a day's work. He's only a boy, Jim. He's
That's
only
right.
18,
It's all in a day's work. It happens to us all.
Big Jim Platt, I thought, might have gone for that one.
I might have surprised him a bit, though, didn't it?
Actually, as Jackie was saying, I'm delighted that Larne have won it. Well done. I saw them in an earlier round, Jim, beat Crusaders, so well done, the chaps. And that's it for this week. As someone once said...
It's a funny old game.
Nobody knows that better than Terry Venables, who has seen the highs and the lows in Barcelona. Well, Terry will be back, we can be sure of that, and we'll be back next week.